Ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens, listen to me. The greatest tragedy in life is not death. It's living someone else's dream while your purpose rots in silence. We are in a world where people are more interested in scrolling through someone else's life than sculpting their own. And let me tell you something that might shake you. Comparison is the thief of purpose. There's a reason why so many people are stuck, frustrated, and spinning their wheels. It's not because they lack potential. It's not because they lack opportunity. It's because they become addicted to comparison. See, comparison is the silent killer. It doesn't show up loud and obvious. It creeps in through your scrolling, through your thoughts, through those tiny moments when you start measuring your progress based on someone else's success. Let me ask you something real. How many dreams have died because someone thought they weren't good enough compared to someone else? How many gifts have gone unopened, not because the gift wasn't valuable, but because the person holding it didn't believe it was as shiny or impressive as what someone else had? And that's where the enemy wins. Because if he can get you to doubt who you are by showing you who someone else is, then he never has to destroy your purpose. You'll do it yourself. Now, here's what you've got to understand. Purpose is not a competition. Calling is not a contest. Destiny is not a race. There's no trophy for getting there first. But comparison will have you thinking you're behind. It will whisper lies like, you're too late. You're not enough. You should be further by now. And if you believe those lies long enough, you'll start adjusting your life, not to fulfill your calling, but to match someone else's timeline. Let me tell you the truth. You are not late. You are not underqualified. You are not overlooked. You are simply distracted. And distraction is the enemy of destiny. When you spend your life watching what others are doing, you become disconnected from what you were created to do. You can't build something great when your eyes are constantly on someone else's blueprint. The moment you start comparing, you start conforming. And the problem with conforming is it forces you to shrink your gift so it can fit into someone else's mold. But you weren't made to fit in, you were made to stand out. God didn't create you to duplicate, he created you to dominate in your own lane, in your own time, on your own terms. Comparison will have you chasing applause instead of purpose. You'll start doing things just to be seen, just to be noticed, just to be accepted. But anything you have to compromise your identity to get, you'll have to keep compromising to keep. And that's a miserable way to live. The world doesn't need more people pretending to be somebody they're not. The world is starving for authenticity, for boldness, for people who show up in their fullness, flaws and all, and say, this is who I am, and this is what I was created to do. You have a purpose that is specific, sacred, and strategic, but you'll never see it clearly if you keep measuring it against someone else's journey. Just because their blessing looks big doesn't mean yours isn't significant. Just because they're further along doesn't mean you're behind. It just means your process is different. And different doesn't mean deficient. Some people are microwave miracles, but you might be a slow-cooked promise, and you know what? That's okay. Because what's built slowly is often built to last. So what if, instead of comparing, you started celebrating? What if, instead of envying, you started learning? What if you turned down the volume of the world and tuned into the voice inside you, the one that's been telling you all along, you were made for more. You've got everything you need already inside you. But you'll never activate it while you're busy admiring someone else's activation. You've got to make a decision today, a real decision, that you're done watching and ready to walk, that you're done copying and ready to create, that you're done comparing and ready to commit to your calling, to your growth, to your own assignment. When you finally stop looking sideways and start looking straight ahead, you'll realize that the lane you're in was never crowded. It was just waiting on you to start running. So run. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants success, wealth, freedom, and influence. But here's the uncomfortable truth. You'll never dominate in the external world until you first dominate the internal one. People are out here trying to build empires with broken identities, trying to influence others while they can't even influence their own thoughts. They want to scale businesses, but they've never scaled their belief system. They're chasing profits while still operating from a poverty mentality. That's why nothing sticks. Let me tell you something foundational. You cannot outperform your mindset. I don't care how good your product is. I don't care how sharp your branding is. If your mindset is full of fear, doubt, comparison, and limitation, you will always find a way to sabotage your own success. Why? Because the subconscious will always win. What you believe about yourself in the dark is louder than what you post about yourself in the light. See, the battlefield is not the market, it's the mind. That's where the war is won. That's where transformation happens. That's where legacies are born or buried. Most people lose long before they ever launch. Not because their ideas are bad, but because their thinking is. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your identity. And identity is rooted in mindset. If you see yourself as average, you'll behave average, you'll speak average, and you'll accept average. Even if opportunity knocks, you'll disqualify yourself from walking through the door because you've been trained to believe you're not enough, and that's the trap. The problem isn't the opportunity, it's the internal narrative telling you that you're not worthy of it. People try to fix the fruit, but the issue is in the root. Your business isn't stuck because the market is saturated. Your life isn't stalled because you need another course or another strategy. You're stuck because your mind is running an outdated program, one that was written by fear, rejection, trauma, and old belief systems. And no matter how fast you run, if your mindset is malfunctioning, you're just running in circles. Now listen to me, success isn't just about strategy, it's about alignment. Because when your mind is aligned with your purpose, when your beliefs match your assignment, when your identity lines up with your destiny, you become unstoppable. That's when doors open. That's when people take notice. That's when the market starts to respond, not just to your product, but to your presence. The most valuable thing you can invest in is not the stock market, it's the belief market. Because belief compounds faster than any currency. One powerful mindset shift can unlock more results in 30 days than 3 years of hustling in the wrong headspace. But here's the catch. Mindset mastery requires intentionality. You don't stumble into a powerful mind, you build it, you design it. You challenge your limiting beliefs. You speak life over yourself even when you feel like giving up. You guard your thoughts like treasure because you understand they're shaping your future every single day. People think mindset is fluff. It's not. It's the foundation. You can't rise in business until you rise in belief. You can't scale income until you scale identity. You can't grow influence until you grow internally. If you don't fix the foundation, the whole building is fragile. Stop trying to master the market when you haven't mastered the mirror. Until you believe in yourself, until you own your value, until you're unapologetic about your worth, nothing you touch will reach its full potential. Not because it's not good enough, but because you haven't fully shown up for it. So let me ask you, what thoughts are you still carrying that no longer serve your future? What internal scripts need to be deleted so your new destiny can download? What lies have you believed that are costing you millions in value, opportunity, and impact? It's time to do the work. Not just the outer hustle, but the inner healing, the mental reset, the identity alignment, because when your mind is right, your results will follow. When your mindset is elevated, your life elevates with it. That's when you stop reacting to life and start creating it. You're not stuck because of the world, you're stuck because of what you've accepted. But you can change that today, right now. Start mastering the one thing that drives everything else. Your mind. Everything changes when you do. We live in a world where people want results, but they don't want to do the work. We live in a world where everybody is looking for the harvest, but few are willing to get their hands dirty in the soil. Everyone wants to enjoy the fruits of success, but very few are willing to plant the seeds, water them, and patiently wait for them to grow. Here's the hard truth. You cannot harvest a field you didn't sow into. You cannot expect to reap the rewards of hard work, effort, and sacrifice if you haven't put anything into the ground. You cannot expect abundance to show up on your doorstep without having taken the time to cultivate the right mindset, habits, and actions. And too many people, far too many, are disappointed by the results they are not getting while ignoring the fact that they never did the foundational work that leads to a fruitful harvest in the first place. You've got to understand this fundamental principle. Everything you want in life is the result of a seed you've planted. Whether that seed is your time, your energy, your resources, or your belief, you will only reap what you've sown. There is no shortcut. There is no magic. You don't plant a seed and expect it to grow overnight. And you certainly don't plant a seed in one area of your life and expect it to yield results in another. When you plant a seed, it goes through a process. It has to be nurtured. It has to be protected from the elements. It has to be watered consistently. It's not glamorous. It's not exciting, but it's necessary. And that process is exactly how your growth works. You can't skip it. You can't cut corners. Success in life, in business, in relationships, in personal growth, these things require consistent effort over time. You don't get to the top by sitting back and waiting for things to fall into your lap. You get there by planting seeds of hard work, learning, faith, persistence, and vision, and then most importantly, waiting patiently for the harvest. Too many people are caught in the trap of instant gratification. They want results fast without the necessary input. They think they can drop a little effort here and there and suddenly wake up to success. But success isn't a quick fix. It's a series of small, consistent actions that build on each other over time. It's a daily commitment to doing the things that move you closer to your goal, even when it doesn't feel like anything is happening. When you focus on planting the right seeds, you'll begin to notice something incredible. The results might not come immediately, but over time, you will start to see growth. Maybe not as fast as you'd like, but growth nonetheless. And when that growth starts, you have to keep watering, keep nurturing, keep protecting. Just because you don't see results instantly doesn't mean they aren't coming. Just because it doesn't happen as quickly as you expect doesn't mean it's not on the way. That seed is growing beneath the surface, and one day you'll see it push through the dirt. You'll see it rise up. But understand this. If you're not sowing, you're not growing. If you're not working, you're not reaping. You cannot sit around waiting for opportunities to come to you if you're not out there creating them. You cannot sit and wish for things to change if you're not taking action to change them. Opportunity doesn't knock on the door of the person who is passive. It knocks on the door of the person who is out there, taking action, planting seeds, and doing the work. If you want to see growth in your life, your business, your relationships, or your finances, you've got to start sowing the right seeds today. Start by investing in yourself. Start by planting seeds of discipline, of learning, of growth, and of commitment. Start by making decisions today that will pay off in the long term. Your harvest isn't going to come tomorrow, but if you start sowing the right seeds today, you'll start seeing the results soon enough. It's about consistency, about showing up every single day, no matter how small or insignificant the action might feel. Success is built on the daily disciplines, the small choices you make, the things you do when no one is watching, the moments when you choose to continue even when it feels like nothing is changing. Those small acts of sowing are what create the foundation for the harvest. So ask yourself, what seeds am I planting today? What actions am I taking right now that are moving me closer to the life I want to live? What habits am I developing that will lead to the future I desire? If you're not happy with the results you're getting, it's time to change the seeds you're planting. It's time to put in the work. It's time to water the seeds you've sown. And it's time to have the patience and faith to wait for the harvest. Your future is a reflection of the seeds you're planting today. If you're planting seeds of doubt, fear, and procrastination, don't be surprised when those are the fruits that come up. But if you're planting seeds of faith, hard work, perseverance, and vision, get ready for the harvest of your life. Your breakthrough is just on the horizon, but it all starts with what you're willing to sow into today. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Start sowing now. Too many people are living lives that are not their own. They're walking someone else's path, wearing someone else's shoes, chasing someone else's dream. And while imitation might feel like the easiest way to success, it's the surest path to frustration, burnout, and unfulfilled potential. Listen to me carefully. Your assignment is custom built. Your calling is uniquely designed for you. It's not meant to look like anyone else's because it's not meant to take you to the same place as anyone else. The journey you're on is one of a kind, and if you keep trying to copy someone else's blueprint, you'll miss the opportunity to fully embrace the greatness that was always meant to be yours. In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in comparison. With social media and constant access to the lives of others, it's hard not to look around and think, I should be doing what they are doing, or I should have what they have by now. But here's the reality. Just because it worked for someone else doesn't mean it will work for you. The strategies, the habits, the paths that work for them, and the moment you start trying to duplicate someone else's success, you're losing sight of the unique blueprint God has already given you. It's easy to look at someone who's achieved great things and think, if I just do exactly what they did, I'll get the same results. But what you fail to realize is that their journey was shaped by their experiences, their vision, their mistakes, their triumphs, and their time. They didn't arrive at success by copying someone else. They arrived by being true to their own purpose, their own path, and their own assignment. And you can't shortcut that. There's a reason why your calling is uniquely yours. It's because the world needs you, not someone else. The skills, talents, and experiences you bring to the table are all part of the divine design that has been tailored for the impact you are meant to make. You have something no one else can offer: your story, your voice, your perspective. Your journey is meant to look different because your purpose is different. The gifts and abilities you possess are meant to create a legacy that only you can build. When you copy someone else's blueprint, you're not honoring the design God has placed inside of you. You're telling yourself that who you are isn't enough, that you need to be someone else in order to succeed. And that's a lie. You don't need to be anyone else. You just need to be you, fully, unapologetically, authentically. You need to embrace your assignment, your path, and your purpose, and stop pretending that someone else's journey is the one you are meant to walk. The world is full of imitation. People follow trends, mimic influencers, and chase after fleeting opportunities. But success that is built on imitation is never sustainable. It's like building a house on sand. Eventually it will crumble. The only success that lasts is the one built on authenticity, the one that's rooted in your own vision, your own mission, and your own purpose. You may look around and see others rising faster, growing quicker, or seeming to have it all together. But remember this: comparison only steals your peace and your power. You are not called to follow someone else's trajectory. You are called to carve out your own. Your assignment has been specifically crafted for you with your gifts, your experiences, and your heart. The world doesn't need another copycat. It needs you to show up as your true self, bringing your unique perspective and your unique gifts to the table. The key to unlocking your fullest potential is not by copying blueprints, but by creating your own. And this requires faith. Faith that the path you're walking, though it might look different from others, is exactly where you need to be. Trusting that your journey is unfolding as it should, and that your experiences are shaping you for the success that is meant for you. So stop trying to mimic the path of others. Stop wasting time trying to be like someone else, and start embracing the journey that has been uniquely designed for you. The world is waiting for your contribution, not a version of someone else. The life you were meant to live is not the one that looks like theirs. It's the one that looks like yours. What does it mean to truly walk in your assignment? It means doing the inner work to clarify your purpose, to identify your strengths, and to boldly step into the space where only you can thrive. It means shedding the fear of being different and embracing the power of your individuality. It means creating your own blueprint and following it with unwavering faith, trusting that every step you take is leading you closer to the success you were always meant to experience. Your assignment was crafted with you in mind, and if you want to see the full manifestation of your destiny, you have to stop looking to others for answers and start looking within. The success you're chasing, it's already in you, waiting to be unlocked. The blueprint you need to follow, it's already written in your heart, waiting for you to step into it. The world doesn't need another copy, it needs the original. It needs you. If you want to walk in power, stop chasing validation and start chasing transformation. Focus on your mindset, your mission, your message. Don't just exist, build. Don't just watch, work. And don't you dare measure your calling by someone else's calendar. Remember this, when you lock in on yourself, the world will have no choice but to take notice. Because true power, it doesn't come from watching others win. It comes from showing up for your own breakthrough. Now go out there and focus on you.